as you all know, I'm going to offering the empowerment of the White Tara. And before I begin empowerment for the ceremony, and I'm going to give brief introduction. Introduction is a part of the ceremony and part of the lineage teachings. So that even though you already know that I'm going to give the White Tara empowerment, but it's again as a lineage instruction to strengthening our understanding, knowledge as much as we can, so that we can absorb teaching, empowerment, and blessing within our heart stream with joy, with devotions. For that reason, I will talk really again introductions. The first of all, again, it is empowerment. Empowerment, this teaching is come from, again, of course, by Buddha Shakyamuni, who came 2000, about 600 years ago in India, and Buddha was a totally enlightened beings. That means, what means enlightened beings? In Buddhism, enlightened beings, one who is free from all the obscuration, the negative emotions, such as ignorance, attachment, anger, jealous, hatred thought, self-important, greedy, and violence, that thoughts, totally removed, totally freed. Buddha's, that his thought, his mind, his realization, wisdom is utterly love, kindness, compassion, and wisdom combined together with peace and joy for all living beings without any discriminations. Love, kindness, compassion, respect, and appreciation to every living being. Even Buddha, we known as Buddha, is totally enlightened. He is the supreme of supreme beings in a way among all the human beings, because his realization, his understanding, but yet he is so humble, so respectful, so appreciative to everyone. Everyone. This is what the teaching is. That is what the practice of realization is. Kindness, compassion, respect, and appreciation. So this great teacher gave or shared so many teachings as we are ready to connect to ourselves to the teaching, so that we become as enlightened. That also means Buddha taught in the teaching that every living being is equal, including himself. He said we all equal because we all have the same nature, same potential, same quality. It's only the matter of the waked up or not waked up. That is the difference. Otherwise, everyone is the same. Same. So for that reason, in order to wake up ourselves, Buddha gave so many instructions and teachings that we can accordingly we can connect it to that. In the context of love, compassion, wisdom, respect and appreciation, in a joyful manner, happy manner, and a respectful manner that we can explore and become ourselves as one of the same as the Buddha himself. So he gave many teachings. All those teachings are summarized according to the Nyingma schools of Tibetan Buddhism in the 9 yanas, or 9 different categories. Among this teaching belongs with the, among 9 in this teaching belongs with the 7th, 8th, and 9th teachings. Those teachings are known as in Nyingma schools of Tibetan Buddhism, Mahayoga, Anu Yoga, and Ati Yoga, and many of you know and read books and receive the teaching and practicing that. So those are according 9 yana level, 9 different categories. This is the 7th, 8th, and 9th teachings. So this teaching, what you're going to receive, is taught by the Buddha Shakyamuni, Buddhas. When Buddha Shakyamuni gave these teachings, again going back to his story, how that started, Buddha gave many different, as I said, categories of teachings as individuals are ready. And that therefore there's many different teachings, and this 7th, 8th, 9th, particularly this category of teachings, Buddha did not give openly to public in that time to Indian audience, because they are not ready. but they selected a group, and as well as numerous beings. In a Buddha's teaching, it's called celestial beings. Now, who are ready to resist these teachings? Buddha expounded these teachings. Last these three teachings to all those numerous beings. Those are in the way world of our self, what we call invisible beings. But they are not just not beings. There is many beings that even though our eye consciousness, I cannot detect it immediately, but there is beings in the Buddha's teachings. So many beings. So Buddha gives these teachings, all those levels. And then after Buddha's Mahaparinirvana, which means Buddha passed away in the age 80, around age 81 or 80 passed away. After his Mahaparinirvana or past 81, and maybe 300 years, about that time, this teaching became very popular in Tibet, in India. And particularly in the teaching said that after 27 years after the Buddha's Mahaparinirvana or the passed away, this teaching started coming to this world. They are ready to receive, practice and explore this, engage in these teachings. But however, it is very selected and personal in a way, very small amount of the practitioners. But around 200 or 300 years after, teaching became very popular. And then more popular, particularly such as a great master Mipham Rinpoche, who came 8 years after the Buddha Shakyamuni and then started expounding, sharing this, particularly this teaching, the three last teachings of nine yanas, 7, 8, and 9 teachings. He started really giving, and as well as many great other masters, known as Mahasiddhas. Mahasiddhas, Sanskrit word, which means accomplished masters, one who accomplished everything. That means one who accomplished all the goals. Why we don't accomplish the goals? Our goal, our wish, because there's so many hindrances, so many obstacles. The fundamental obstacle is a negative emotion, as we discussed this morning. Negative emotions, such as ignorance. What is negative emotions? Many of you know. Few of you maybe you don't hear that name or know immediately. But this negative emotions is fundamental, is the ignorance, then attachment, then anger, then jealous, then hated thought. They are the chief cabinet ministers for our ego clings. Ego cling is a big boss, staying in the center of the dominion and surrounded by these chief 6 or 5 cabinet ministers and defending and protecting, and that is fundamental obstacles, hindrance to our not fulfilling our goals. Our goals. That's what the great master, his own Dalai Lama said often said, when you have the compassion, thinking of all beings, you fulfill your goals. When you're thinking of others with compassion, love and kindness thoughts, that your goal will be accomplished very naturally. You don't have to make big effort because of compassion, power of the compassion. That's what it tells. The Buddha Shakyamuni, the one who shared his love and kindness and compassion thought for all living beings and then fulfill the goal. And similar, these Mahasiddhas, the highly accomplished masters, complete the goal because they utterly, completely rich of the love and kindness and compassion, thinking of all living beings. Therefore, they vanished, they defeated the principal fundamental hindrance of our not achieving the goals. All the negative emotions are transcendented within a state of love, compassion, wisdom, status. This is what called these Mahasiddhas. They share these teachings continually along with Mipham Rinpoche. So that's how this Buddhism teaching begins. And among those teachings, then Buddha gave many different teachings, particularly, and there is teachings about the male Buddhas, female Buddhas, as well as Radha Buddhas, peaceful Buddhas, semi-Radha Buddha teachings. Buddha gave many different teachings. These Buddhas, what Buddha gave, the Buddha Shakyamuni gave the teachings on those different Buddhas, is not just history of the past. It's not the mythology of the past. But these Buddhas, according to Buddha Shakyamuni, according to the Mahasiddhas, or those who are highly accomplished, they are living Buddha. These great master Mahasiddhas, they communicated with these great masters. Where? In the different locations of the universe. This is our world. We think this is the only one, alone one. That is, according to Buddha's teaching and great master's teaching, that is just very narrowly minded corners. We're looking only in the hole of the needle's hole, and that is what we see. When you look through the needle hole, eye of the needles, what your vision will be. What our vision will be. Our vision will be the eye of the needle. That is not what we are looking now. We're looking through the eye of the needle. We're listening through the eye of the needle. Our senses like that shrinking. Because ego clinging, this old ego, we are trapped with as a cocoon. We don't penetrate, explore beauty in a panoramic view of the 360-degree angles. We don't. Definitely, we don't. And therefore, these living, according to Buddha Shakyamuni and all these great masters, these Buddhas are the living Buddha. Right now. And they are also representing our different energies, our different realization state of the mind, which is hiding behind the midst of this all obscurations, negative emotions. And we connect to these Buddhas as mirror images or mirrors, and it will refining our beauty, our goal, so that we can polish it, what our really true beings and true nature it is. And there are so Buddha Shakyamuni give many different teachings on these Buddhas, enlightened beings. Among those Buddhas, and this today's teaching is then, as you all know, is White Tara. Tara is, according to the phenomena or the relative level, Tara is considering as female Buddha, living female Buddhas. Tara has so many different emanations. That means so many different displays, according to the radius of the receivings, according to the readiness of the individuals. So many different emanations. Those different levels of the emanations in the Buddha's teaching, known as Dharmakaya Buddhas, Sambhokaya Buddhas, Nirmakaya Buddhas, so many emanations. Dharmakaya Buddha is absolute Buddha beyond the conception. So that means beyond the grasping, beyond the ego clinging, beyond the attachment, beyond the clinging. This Buddha can be perceived. When we vanish our clinging, our grasping, our duality mind, we can clearly vision and see this inconceivable Buddha of the Tara, the Dharmakaya Buddhas. That is the what the inconceivable. In order to behold this her nature, simply meditate. Now how we do? How are we going to behold that nature of Dharmakaya Buddha? Simply meditating, relaxing in a Vipassana state or Dzogchen status, or the Mahamudra state, relaxing that status, or the Pandyaparamada state, meditating, relaxing. That is what we're going to see, glimpse of her nature, her beauties. This Buddha, Dharmakaya Buddha, is also known as Tara Buddha, known as mother of the all Buddhas. Buddha Shakyamuni said, those who want to reach enlightenment, contrary to the Mother Pandyaparamata. She is known as Mother Pandyaparamata or the Absolute Tara. And all the past Buddha who reach enlightenment, become awakened, fully one, they contract and they absorb, they explore the Mother Pandyaparamata. Those who want to reach the enlightenment, working for the path, they should engage and explore the Mother Pandyaparamata or Mother Absolute Taras. Those who want to reach enlightenment in the future or going to reach enlightenment in the future, they also should do the same thing. This is the mother of all the enlightened beings. not just selected groups. According to Buddhism, as many of you heard, know, there's also many categories of the realizations. Those are known as the Charvakayana, Arhata, and the particular Buddhas, Bodhisattva, and the Buddha Shakyamuni or Buddhas. All these realization beings, everyone become Arhata, particular Buddha, Bodhisattva, Holy Buddha, because contracting and exploring the beauty of the Mother Panjaparamani, Mother Absolute Tara. That is what the power is. So therefore, this state is known as the Mother Absolute Tara, the Dharmakaya Tara. Tara, which is pervasive, totally beyond of the conception, and yet it is the source of everything. It is source of love, source of compassion, source of wisdom, source of understanding, source of skillful means. Everything is arising from that nature without any discriminations, without any partialities. That is the word known as reach of the Mother, Absolute Mother Tara, the Dharmakaya Taras. From that nature arising energy, more actively arising energy, that energy of love, energy of compassion, energy of the wisdom is known as then the Mother Sambhogaya Taras. Sambhogaya Taras absolute status in the Buddha's teaching, then those taras such as like Vajravarahis, Vajrayoginis, and as well as the 5 Dhyana Buddhas, and so forth, 5 Pimal Dhyana Buddhas, so forth, all are known as Sambhogaya Buddhas. In Sanskrit word, what means Sambhogaya Buddha? Totally enjoyment of the body, the component of the total enjoyment. Something that component total enjoyment. There's nothing, anything that needs to be disregarded. It's abundance of the rich, abundance of luxuries, abundance of all the goodness. That is that richness, that quality is known as that embodiment, that component, that is known as Kaya. Kaya is a Sanskrit word and it can be translated as body. Body, or as translated, I'm translating component, I think. Component. I'm translating, it's collected things. All collect, so many things. Richness are collected, fire together, even there is nothing to be seen, the different borders. All beautiful, harmoniously rich in a way, coming out, that glorious. That is the Sambhogaya. What are those? Those are compassion. The infinite compassion, infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite intelligence, infinite wisdom as I listed this morning, the 5 those wisdoms. All those are, and those are also not just one singly, narrowly, kind of like individually connection, this and that, 5 things. Each can be all of them too. It's not just as kind of regulated, but as we duality mind think, that's called beauty of the flexible and freedom. Nature is freedom, totally freedom, and total vastness. It is openness. Therefore, dynamic display of the freedom qualities, arising energy can be anything within these beautiful states of the 5 wisdoms, and those 5 beautiful qualities, love and compassion, wisdom, skill means all that. That richness is known as Sambhogaya Buddhas. And those with the appeared as the figures of forms, now known as Vajravarahis, Vajrayoginis, 5 Dhyana Buddhas, or 5 Pimal Dhyana Buddhas, so forth. In our conceptual level, those are named, those are. And they are here. They are not just came and gone. They are known as the ongoing richness. Therefore, Sambhogaya qualities are 5 certainties. Time is certain always, because it went beyond the 3 times. It went beyond the past, it went beyond the present, it went beyond the future. It's beyond the 3 times. So therefore, and that richness is continuing. It's beyond the conceptions. That is the richness, that all the time. That what is in brief with that. With that activity came this Sambhogaya energy component came more actively to communicate and engage with the duality beings, the beings with duality, beings with emotions, beings with the ego clingings. When they appear, that component is known, or that display is known as Nirmakaya Buddhas. And Nirmakaya Buddha of the Tara is then, there is so many Nirmakaya Buddhas, such as again many different categories of the Nirmakaya Buddhas, and such as Tara herself as a Nirmakaya Buddhas, Tara. And there is 21 emanation Taras. We have beautiful Taras images here, according lineage of the great master Jigme Lumpa. This Tara is surrounded by with 21 Taras. This is all emanation, and blessed by with our great Khenpo Tsewang Rinpoche, with his aspiration, with his blessings, with his lineage, and put forward to these statues. Stay right in front of this. This is all also known as the Nirmakaya Buddhas or the female Buddhas. What Nirmakaya Buddha is the same quality, nothing changed, but is more accessible to the beings of duality, because we cannot perceive the Sampukaya Buddhas. And we cannot perceive immediately Dharmakaya Taras. But Nirmakaya Tara is something that we can communicate, we can receive, we can contact. That's what called Nirmakaya, the playful component. That one is playful. And to play to our freeing to our egos, our negative emotions, our duality, so that we can become as Tara herself. This emanation of Tara, then in the Tara, which is a living Buddha Tara. This Tara, 21 emanation of Tara, is according to Buddha, according to Guru Padma Samye, according to all those great masters from the time until now. So many great those masters really perceived and received the teaching directly from Taras. So these living Taras, these Nirmakaya Taras, living Taras. And then also Nirmakaya Tara, emanation of Nirmakaya Buddha Avatara, appeared also many times in this world as human forms, really human forms within this, like after the Buddha Shakyamunis came. And many times in the teaching said, in Nirmakaya Buddha Taras, according to the Vajrayana teaching, such as an emanation of Nirmakaya Taras, are Buddha's mother, Maya Devis. Maya Devi is the emanation of the Mother Tara. And also during the Buddha time, there is known as Ganga Hams, the Devi of Ganges. And there is even sutra of that. And that is also known as the emanation of Taras. And then there is such as all those 5 great Western Dakinis who are the principal, the distributor and the spirit, the one who separated the teachings of the Vajrayana through Guru Padma Samye or from Guru Padma Samye. Those are the Mandarawa and the Kala Siddhi, Shakta Devi, and the Trashi Chendi, and finally as Yeshin Sojas. Those are all known as the emanation of Taras. Other 21, some of those emanation of the different emanation of Taras, Mother Taras. And later, around 11th century or the 12th century, great Western Dakini, famous one appeared in the Tibet, known as then Matiglabji Drama, Matiglabji, another emanation of Tara. And then more and more, there's one after another. Occasionally, not many as very renowned appeared as as many those great masters, but so many great really female teachers who are emanation of Tara, Yishin Soja appeared one after another. So many, they all recognized, and also even themselves said emanation of Tara, or emanation of Yishin Soja, emanation of the Mati Labros. Mati Labro herself said clearly very words that I was before as Maya Devi, I was before as a Ganga Lamu, I was before as a Sukha Siddhi, and I was before as a Nugama, or the sister of the Naropa, great master Naropa, and I was later in Tibet, he said, I was Yishin Soja, and now I am. That's what she said. And so therefore, these emanations are renowned ones. Then Nirmakayas are not just always a renowned one as like Matik Labu, Yeshim Soja, there's also many, those are very low-key emanations appeared who are helping, supporting, guiding, and then to all the beings, but not necessarily big names. And there's so many female great beings really came, and the kind of, after they did great work and great deed and what they said, and then in a way they fulfilled their goal, and then they kind of like left their bodies. There's also many of those beautiful stories on those things. So those are all the Dhammakaya Buddhas. So today, among all that, today we are connecting to the White Tara. White Tara is then, again, one of the emanations of the Taras. Or, again, in emanated by the Buddhism teaching says, there are two principal emanations of Tara, green Tara, white Tara. And this is white Tara. And also the history sometimes in the teaching says that our Lokiteshvara helped to free all the sentient beings from the suffering and the difficulty and the troubles. And he did one time, two times, third time. And again, there's almost like kind of come back again, the same amount of as what he did before. So we kind of thought, what I can do? If it's so kind of in a way, in this regular way, that he will be upset and he fell down and he become kind of like, he break himself and become so many pieces. And Amitabha came and don't worry, and his son, don't worry, this is the samsara karma and the sentient beings karma, and your compassion and your love will continue and help. And he put Amitabha put together, and the Amitabha resided on the ground of the Avalokiteshvara. Ever since that, and this is just one of the stories. That. And then Avalokiteshvara still came, the tears came. Among those two tears, immediately appeared white Tara and green Tara, and said, we will help you to support and liberate all the sentient beings. So therefore, many times also said in the teaching, the one who emanated from the tears of the Avalokiteshvaras, or Buddha of compassion. So these are what the story is, but it is, white Tara is the Buddha of now, living Buddha, and today we are connected to that teaching. So that is, but the white Tara is totally enlightened beings, full of love, compassion, wisdom, in embodiment of that qualities, and free from all suffering and difficulty, trouble, negativities. That is what the white Tara is, really that. And now this Tara teaching, or the entire Buddha's teaching, how that came.